September 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Easter?
Yes, sir.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 4, line item transfers, of which there are none this week. Moves us to item 5, outstanding bills.
Make a motion to ratify the bills in the amount of $12,415 and approve the outstanding bills in the amount of $173,897.27.
Is there a second? Commissioner Weir, discussion. Sheriff. Chief Woodring's not in the room, I see. I don't know if I'm gonna be having to ask you or Ms. Swift this. I don't see on this month's bills yet the charges for the Marble Falls Dispatch Center. Last month, I was given to believe the charges were in the neighborhood of about $31,000. Is that
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're gonna start building. That's the problem.
what do you, and I feel bad because I think Chief Woodring you have had him over this task.
Yeah,
So I'm asking you things you might not be able to grasp out of thin air, but that 31,000 was for, do you know what period of time that was for? Was it for September or August or July, or was it for a bigger period or?
I believe it was for, and I'm just thinking it was 9,000 per month once I started doing 9,000 something. But.
Okay.
So I would guess that would be for the first couple of months. But I would have to get with Woodring when we had not received those.
I must have misunderstood because I thought it was 31,000 a month. And I was also with the understanding that it was gonna only be based on the amount of hours that y'all actually use them, so it could vary, but that would be the worst case scenario.
Right, well, as of right now, I'm still 6 feet, 6 seconds.
Yep.
The whole week. I am not, I can't say what the bill is, but. Okay.
We paid $9,300 last.
Sorry, I couldn't hear the number.
$9,300. We paid the first commissioner's court or maybe it was the second in September.
So that was for the last fiscal year.
Yes, we paid one in the last fiscal year.
I wonder what the 31,000 is that keeps floating around as a rumor.
And that could be for 100% dispatching.
Some of that is, it's way more. But it's 31,000 per month.
For 24/7 coverage,
And we don't need to go to them.
right?
I don't have to go.
Because you're working hard on getting replacements.
I've got.
Good job, Don.
Couple of hours. But it takes a lot of training.
Understand.
We're not gonna have to shut down completely, definitely. But I'm texting that.
I think it is in non-departmental.
No, there's, sorry.
There's a line somewhere that says 911
Sheriff's.
and I can't find the line number. Well, that may be the point, is it's in the budget analysis at 309, but it says that there's nothing budgeted. It just is an expense line. And we didn't budget $31,000 a month for the next 12 months. The, when we began this journey with Marble Falls several months ago, we had a lot of laps to salary to be able to compensate and make up the difference.
Right.
Of course, we start a new fiscal year, October the 1st. We don't have any lap salary on day one. I'm just wondering how we're going to sustain $372,000 of expense over the course of the fiscal year if we were to have to use Marble Falls the whole fiscal year when we didn't budget for it. Well, let me ask you an intervening question. Dispatch salaries do not qualify for SB 22 funds, right?
Just dispatch, no. For dispatch data. They've been they've been dispatch jailers for a while now. But I don't think they were back in 2011 when the new dispatch center was created and everything was started up. They were classified as jailers. Yes.
Okay, that goes against my memory because I thought we had the argument during the salary study and we were trying to elevate the dispatchers and find reasons for them. And the argument was, well, they control movement around the jail, so they're like a jailer. But I thought that came about through the salary study back in 2020, whatever that was, 21, 22. But you think they were jailers even before? I'm not saying what they did. I'm saying what they were classified at. You think they were classified as jailers even
Yes.
before? Okay,
They've always been required to have a jailer's license, since the beginning of being here in Blackville County.
okay. All right. So you think there's gonna be a $31,000 bill coming in for the month of October from
No.
No? What do you think it will be?
I'm hoping it's gonna stay a written time. Whatever they charged us last month, but they've been working with us on the halftime, or,
Half a day?
yeah, until we get it back in order. That was their projection if they took it over full time.
And do you know today what when you're full staffed and dispatched, it's like a lieutenant, 2 sergeants and 7
So,
dispatchers?
yes,
That's like 10 total, 11. That would be 8 dispatchers, 2 sergeants and a lieutenant. So do you know where you stand today in staffing?
I have a sergeant, and I have 3 dispatchers.
Training? And no trained?
Well, I have, patrol officer doing it. And I have, supposed to be having help from, in the MT.
And when you're fully staffed in dispatch, you'd have a dispatcher, a sergeant for each shift?
Yeah. Halfway. The sergeant is not my turn right now. Obviously. And nor is the lieutenant. I mean, you get people who are different on stuff.
We're gonna come online, maybe in a year.
But
One of the trainees gonna come online in year.
one of them's getting fairly close. It takes about 6 months.
Yeah, they've been working on it for 4 months.
Yes, and that was the other deal, we're looking at possibly hiring some that are just dispatch, and they won't get paid as much as the others. If they're just dispatch, but until that happens, I don't know. I mean, we could hire jailers to fill those positions. Or the jailers can rotate to fill those positions like they have at night.
Well, don't we need to formally, doesn't the court need to formally create a lesser dispatch position in the salary grades? If you're gonna pay them less because they don't have a jailer's license?
Yes,
So we need to do that at some point.
yes.
Okay. Further discussion, motion's been made by Commissioner Leesman, seconded by Commissioner Weir to approve the outstanding bills. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, motion carries. Item 6. Light spectacular fireworks display.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Just one addition to the light spectacular that we did not present at the last time we came up. We have secured the funding from an independent source to be able to have fireworks New Year's Eve in the same spot that we have it for opening weekend, and we'd like to have your approval. I know that the burn ban is being on discussion for this court proceedings, or this commissioners meeting, but I'm hoping we can still work on having fireworks for Light Spectacular New Year's Eve.
So the reason for a burn ban, generally speaking, and this is a little bit flippant, but generally speaking is because the fire department can't be everywhere all the time. I can't go out and burn a gas pile and have 4 fire engines standing there or brush trucks waiting on it. But when you hold fireworks displays here behind this building, you do or do not have fire department personnel on scene,
There is at least 2 trucks on scene.
which in my mind makes it a whole different animal from the burn ban.
Yes. Yes.
So with that being said, I'll make the motion to approve the fireworks display in the north parking lot of the north annex on New Year's Eve with the fire department's assistance.
Is there a
Yes.
second? Commissioner Riley, discussion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Item 7. It's time for us to cast our votes for the appraisal district representatives. Our particular nominee is Shelton Coleman. In times past, you have cast all of our votes for our one person so that we are sure to have representation on the board. And I leave it to your pleasure.
Do we remember exactly what the number of votes we have cast? 1377?
It appears it's 1373 on this page, but Ms. Harrison was gonna triple check that. If the motion were to say all available votes, then whether it's 73 or 77 or whatever it is, that's what we would do.
I make a motion to cast all Lincoln County votes for the Lincoln County Appraisal District Board of Directors for Shelton Coleman.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Eager, discussion. All in favor, say aye. And opposed, motion carries. Item 8. Veteran Services, Ms. Strunk is here. To give her fiscal year 24-25 report. Having only recently returned from a hospital stay.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
It was a pretty good year. It was about what I expected after that first 2 years. Kind of seems to, I know that the finances of it dropped a little bit on the back pay, but everything else stayed pretty good. VA claims can take anywhere from a few months to a year. I have 2 that I looked at my notes from. One of them I started in April. It was done by July. It was only about 3.5 months. Another one I started in 2024 and it ended in 2025. I monitored that claim for about 13 months. The difference between the two is the one that took a long time, it was a veteran that had never received any VA benefits. They had no VA at all. And so those always take a bit longer. The other one, it was a more simple, he just wanted to add something and increase on something else. And so it only took a couple of months. He'd already been receiving VA. They already had all of his records. He was receiving VA healthcare. So it only took that couple of months. It varies so greatly depending on what their circumstances were. I have a couple that are pending that have been going for 6-8 months right now. Once you get into reserve duty records and things like that, it complicates things. And so some of them do take that extended period of time. When I do these reports, they're based off of when the decision was made. And so if the decision was made in 2025, it falls into that 25 line. Back pay was 337,000. Monthly increase, so the increase that came every single month was 36,000, and then the total annual was 441. And that takes that 3 years total to $1,123 or thereabouts. That's a lot of additional tax-free income that has come into Blanco County veterans. When I look at claims, I never really looked at anything other than the financial impact. I don't look at the number of claims I file because we only have about 880 or so veterans according to reports. But in 25, I did file 44 claims. 16 of them had no previous VA anything. They didn't receive health care. They were not in the system at all. 8 of them were granted 100%. 8 out of those 44 were moved into 100% disabled, according to the VA. And then of that 44, a total of 39 of the claims were granted in some way, to some level. Could have been one condition that was granted, or it could have been all of them, or anywhere in between. I don't usually look at those because it seems like such a small number. 44 doesn't seem like that much. But Texas Veterans Commission had a report recently, just on another county, a very large county with over 2 million in population. And I was looking at their numbers and it showed that they assisted over 500 veterans, filed over 350 claims, how much it resulted in financially. And I realized that their financial impact wasn't that much higher when looking at the huge difference in population. So I have assisted about 1 in 20 veterans just in 2025 in filing a claim. That county with over 100,000 veterans filed claims for about 1 in 300. So while 44 is such a small number, it's not when you look at the overall. And then that comes out to about once a week when we take out weeks for holidays and weeks for other reasons. Most of the veterans here are retired. They spend a lot of time traveling. It's every other week. It's, well, I'm going to be out of town for all of these days, so I can't do anything yet. I need to wait until here. Not a whole lot happens between, say, Thanksgiving and New Year because there's so much other travel going on. The one thing that has stayed pretty consistent is the appreciation from local veterans. I did receive an email from one a month or so ago. He just got his VA report. Great news, 30% disability for his knee and 20% for his shoulder. Total disability was 40%. Monthly benefit is $774, and thanks to your advice and filing the intent to file, it is retroactive to February 1st of 2025. I can't thank you enough for your help. If it wasn't for our chance meeting last December and your encouragement to get the paperwork and file, I never would have thought I deserved any benefits since I didn't put in 20 years. And that's where a lot of the veterans are coming from. They don't think that they are eligible for any benefits. Vietnam era veterans were told that there was nothing for them, or others, they were only in for a little while and then they went and did something else. And so they don't realize that they're eligible for benefits and that there is something out there. And then I have helped them file their claims, get something, prove that it was service connected. Sometimes it's challenging. They have a little bit of homework. Sometimes the homework is a deterrent. but we usually do get through all of that process and get somewhere for them. That consistent appreciation, it comes to me, but it is also for you five. I wouldn't be here doing this if it wasn't for the support of the court. And I always let them know that I'm here because of y'all. I do still think it's the best job in the county. I think I said that last year. I absolutely, it's great. Just getting that appreciation, helping them make these huge differences. They're getting healthcare from the VA, or they're getting a little bit of extra money or a lot of extra money on a regular, consistent basis. And that's all.
Would you consider what you do in the broad category of social services?
Yes.
So I don't think this is really a partisan issue, but I draw a distinction between if these numbers were the way they are increasing year over year, if these numbers were about how many people you put on the welfare rolls for this program and that program, disincentivizing them to maybe look for work or whatever, it would be a whole different perspective. But your clientele are people who have already put in service
Yes.
to the United States. Yes,
Yeah.
and are deserving of the benefits that you fight for them.
Yes. And an interesting thing about VA benefits that a lot of people, I didn't know for quite a while, is that it's meant as a buffer. It's to pay us for the injuries and illnesses that we received because of our time in service fighting for the country. But it's a fill-in, it's a gap filler. If you are 10% disabled, that means that your earning potential in civilian work is reduced by that 10%. And so they're filling in that gap. If someone is 50% disabled, according to the VA, they're assuming that their earning potential is reduced. They may not be able to work full-time. Maybe they can only work part-time. And so it's to just fill that gap.
You know, I didn't say it very articulately. What my point was is that this is not charity and this is not welfare. These are benefits they've already earned.
Yes, they are.
They just are, but because of the way the system is designed, it's not easy to get what you've earned.
Correct.
Anyone have any comments or
I know,
questions?
a good number of them too are very proud people. They'll do everything they can to not have to do that.
They are, and yes, that is true. And sometimes the longer they wait, the harder it is.
You bet.
Um,
So I appreciate you working with them, and convince them that maybe it will help their lives. And they might have another job, but if that's the end of their job, like you said, they can barely survive with that job. This makes the difference maybe on a light bill or whatever.
A lot of them, they, not only did they work for the military for so many years, then they work with the civilian sector doing something else. They may have retired there. And they may be earning a retirement from their civilian job. And then once they get older and they can't work any other jobs anymore, things just get tighter. Their medical expenses increase, they're taking care of the house. Or all of the other little things that happen to all of us. We're taking care of our parent. Our savings are depleted because of that. And now they can't work because their body is breaking down at a much faster rate. Because military service is so hard on the body, it breaks down so much faster.
All right, this is an informational item only. Did you have anything else? Commissioners?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, you're definitely making good PR for Blanco County. I've never heard anything but positives.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving to item 9, the Joint Primary Election Services Contract, Ms. Sadami.
I didn't see any part here, but they're asking to. The March 3rd. Is that the we'll be holding? Finances, but that's the contract that I don't think is just a standard.
I may have misheard you. It sounded like you said 23rd, but you meant 3rd, right?
Third.
Right.
March 3rd, 2026, and the May, if there's a runoff, May 26th.
And early voting and regular voting will be right here in this room, correct?
For the 2026 election? Or for the November 4th election?
The 2026 election.
I am not sure. Right now, it's pending with a conflict with a hobby room and jury trial, so I'm not sure.
When the commissioners court back on August the 7th, maybe somewhere in there,
Yes,
designated voting places.
yes.
This room was one of the two voting, well, this room was for early voting. This was one of the two voting places, correct?
For early vote, yes, this is the main early voting location for Blanco County.
Was that designation for, the November election, or was that designation for the entire fiscal year?
The designation was from 2025 to 2027, expiring August 31st, 2027.
So the court today expects early voting to occur, whether it's March 3, May 20, whatever, 26,
Yes,
or any of the others to be in this room.
yes, sir. And the people of Blanco County.
Okay. And I know we're gonna have a sit down to discuss it with some other folks, but your position is that when the court did that on August the 7th, it sort of locks it in stone and there's really nothing that can be done.
There is not, unless there is an emergency, fire or other life-threatening emergency, would it be able to be moved? But other than that, it has to be in this room and in the same or nearby building to where my office is.
Yeah, what's the language? Has to be within something like walking distance of your office or something like
Yes.
that?
In the vicinity, in the close vicinity. I think that's the way they put it.
Does early voting have to take place as long as we have designated it for?
Does it have to take place? Yes.
Okay, so it's like we couldn't take a day off.
No. It's the dates are designated by statute, so we don't get to choose that.
And if we could take a day off, which apparently we cannot.
We cannot, but the law has changed for 2027 where we'll have a continuous election. And there is it'll go into effect in 2027, but one of the bills is that we will start early. There won't be no more early voting. It'll be one continuous election starting on the Thursday 2 weeks before Election Day, and it'll run continuously straight into the Tuesday of Election Day.
So they just don't call it early voting anymore.
They will not call it
They
early
just call it a voting period.
voting period. Yes, sir.
Well, for now, on early voting, even if we could take a day off to vacate the room, is that next to impossible?
Yes.
To be continued, but in the meantime, the matter before the court is to take action on your proposed service contract.
Yes.
I'll move for from Mayor Dye, Blanford County Elections Administrator entered into joint primary election service contract with Blanco County Party Chairs for the March 3rd, 2026 primary election and the May 26th, 2026 runoff election if needed.
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Weir, discussion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 10, the Indigent Defense Commission grant needs your approval so that we can get some funding.
I move to approve a resolution for the fiscal year 2026 Texas Indigent Defense Commission grant.
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Eager, discussion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Item 11, purchase of a vehicle for maintenance department, which was budgeted.
Make a motion to approve the specs of the purchase of a 2025 Ram 2500 pickup for the maintenance department as outlined in the capital equipment section of the FY 25-26 budget.
Is there a second? Commissioner Riley, discussion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Item 12, purchase of a top hat maintenance trailer for maintenance, for maintenance.
I move to approve the specs and purchase of 2025 top hat 16-foot utility trailer for the maintenance department as outlined in the capital equipment section of the fiscal year 2025-26 budget.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Eager, discussion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Item 13, dump truck for precinct 3.
So I brought to you all three different proposals. One is the Freightliner, I believe. The Freightliner, I have a Freightliner, a Mack, and a Peterbilt. With the amount of money that we have allotted in our capital equipment, I make a motion to approve the specs and the purchase of a dump truck for precinct 3 as outlined in the capital equipment for the Freightliner in the amount of $145,925.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Weir, discussion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Item 14, authorization to advertise for bids.
So in this one, on this, it's spelled out for precinct 3, but that should not be there. It should just be for all of the road and bridge departments to spec out. So I make a motion to advertise for bids for road materials like base, paving oil, paving rock, et cetera, for the county road and bridge departments.
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Riley, discussion. The plan here and the wording will be on the advertisement that this will be for a year-round pricing, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I noticed those words as well. So it's for all 4 precincts for all of the fiscal year 25-26.
Correct.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Concrete advertisement for bids.
So I'd like to make a motion to go out to bid for my concrete projects for precinct 3. That is based out of the budget.
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Eager, discussion. All in favor, say aye. And opposed, motion carries. 16, F-550 pickup. Precinct 4.
So I have spec'd out a flatbed. F-550 Ford. I had it in my budget for 87. It came in at 87,520.25. But my tractor is coming in under budget on that by a considerable amount, so we'll roll that over into that. So with that being said, I move to approve the specs and purchase of a 2025 Ford F-550 precinct 4 as outlined in the capital equipment section of fiscal year 2025-26 budget.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Weir, discussion. So basically, you'll have funds to cover it from a savings so elsewhere.
Yes.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Before we do, 17, on 16, that tractor is a Kubota
Yes.
and the mower that was purchased is a Kubota. That
Yes.
Commissioner Weir,
Yes.
and, were they both purchased from Ewald?
Yes.
Is that why I keep getting these emails every morning practically from Ewald? Welcoming me to the Kubota family and.
Look over, he started. Yeah,
You haven't purchased your tractor yet.
I have not purchased a tractor yet.
But I'm gonna get twice as many emails. So I'll get twice as many emails.
If you want me to tell them stuff, I will.
Yes.
Okay.
Item 17, advertisement for bids for McCall Creek.
So this is for the construction phase on McCall Creek. I'm going out in two different phases because of the shape that road is in. And then later in the year, I'll go back for the paving phase of it. So at this point, I moved to authorize advertise for bid for the construction phase of McCall Creek project.
Is there a second?
I'll say,
Commissioner Weir, discussion. Ms. Ashby's not in here, but, okay, when you say construction phase, this is not paving.
No.
This is getting it
There's
shaken.
gonna be some culverts that, when that road was built, were way undersized. For water flows to correct ditches and get. Because as if it does, when it does rain, all that water just comes out onto the road, pulling gravel and everything else out on it, so. Getting proper drainage and the proper size of the culverts and everything else.
Where I'm going is, we had this long discussion previously when Commissioner Weir was working on some, and I think maybe even you were working on some paving projects. And there was a long discussion about how the bid documents need to be revised so that we're able to compare and contrast bids or get different kinds of bids even. But this isn't that kind of a thing, right?
No, this is just.
This, you're moving the same dirt or you're bringing in the same base, whoever you are.
can I verify something? I was never asked. On this particular deal, if you go out for bid, you get a free bids, 4 bids, or whatever. You pick the contract, and when it comes time to pay, you go out for bid again. That contractor bids in that bunch, is that allowed?
Well, yeah, because it's come through the court.
Exactly, I got you, I was just verifying that, right? That they do have the same contractor can bid on asphalt later. Because it is going out on bid.
Yes, because it's going out.
Anything else? All in favor, say aye.
Uh,
All opposed, motion carries. Item 18, the burn ban, it expires today at noon. Okay,
yes.
all right.
With us being in becomes one. I've read it.
Oh, no, yeah, I would recommend extending it to at least November
Yeah,
twenty-fifth.
speak up.
I would recommend extending the burn ban to November 25th. As you saw your drought index, the county average is above 600 and parts of the county are close to 700 already. 25th of November, yes, sir.
Anything else to say about it?
The state went to threat level number 3, which is just a higher risk level. There's a lot more rural counties that are starting to get wildland fires. We're at risk. It's really dry out there. The fire chiefs at the house fire or RV fire this morning agreed that it should be extended.
Between the last meeting and this meeting, it seemed like, I did not do an analysis, but it seemed like there were a lot of fires.
There were roadside fires, probably from blowouts or chains dragging lately. Which
which a burn ban won't really,
It doesn't, but gives the fire department a chance just to attack those fires and not have to worry about people burning and fires happening later, so.
Hey, with, recommendations from the farm marshal here, I would like to put, make a motion to extend the burn ban until November the 25th, 2025. At 12 noon.
November 25th.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Is there a commissioner's court date? Yeah. When's Thanksgiving? 27th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well. 20.
27, 28.
Okay.
Let me change that to the 27th then.
No, 25th. You're right. I was just questioning. You're right.
25th? Okay, I'll say 25th.
27 and 28 is the Thanksgiving holiday. 25th is the Tuesday before. We're planning on meeting. Burn ban the proposal is to extend the burn ban through to November the 25th, 2025. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Weir, discussion. All in favor, say aye. And opposed? Motion carries. Item 19.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Is there a second? Commissioner Riley, discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. We're adjourned.